We leave the girls fending off the zombies that were coming to attack them, while Anri realizes that she's not using necromancy to move the zombies. Touka arrives with Yuna on her back and tells the girls that they must not let themselves be bitten, otherwise they'll turn into zombies. When the girls ask him what happened to Yuna, he says that she caught a cold from walking half naked on the street. Touka is afraid of how the group will react knowing that Yuna will turn into a zombie, so she keeps the information. Touka also tells them that he will stay to fix the situation, and the girls are very grateful to him, but don't be fooled that Touka Scott always has hidden agendas, pervertedly hidden. Belaka enters without knocking on the door and suggests that the best thing to do is to seek refuge in the mayor's house. Who tells this motherfucker that he's gonna scare me to death if he suddenly shows up like this without warning? The mayor's mansion looks like a refugee center since there are many people there. Among so many people we can distinguish the 2 guys who worked for the doctor. When they see Touka and his group they start to sweat cold, but they are lucky because apparently Touka's memory is worse than my granny's with Alzheimer's, and he doesn't recognize them. But the short guy with the blonde hair and an engine driver's cap decides to take revenge and reveals that Yuna has been bitten by the zombies and will soon turn to eat everyone. Brains! But Touka is not willing to let them do anything to Yuna and protects her with his sword. The girls tell Touka that he should have told them before, since they were never going to leave Yuna alone, but were willing to support her. Touka apologizes to them and prepares to defend Yuna. But who he would have to defend is himself, since Yuna jumps on top of him to bite him. Anri takes control over Yuna's body with her necromancer technique, but she tells the villagers that it was all a joke and that the girl is half aggressive and biting because she caught a cold at night from going out in her underwear and being very exhibitionist. Once safe, Touka asks Anri if controlling Yuna means she's dead, but Anri tells him no. She gives him a stone with which he can perceive things like mana and souls. With that loss, they manage to see the spell that changed Yuna's behavior, and the princess suggests that if that is magic, they just have to destroy the crystal responsible for everything to return to normal. Anri informs that she will use possession necromancy to control Yuna's body, but Touka offers to be the one to take possession of Yuna's body. Suspicious. Once in Yuna's body, the fondness for thighs begins to affect Touka, who cannot resist touching himself, but he's interrupted by the group. Touka wants to take a bath to have some privacy, but the girls spoil his plan by telling him that they will bathe him. He will say now if he fulfilled his dream, but no, because the girls bathe Touka with her eyes blindfolded. Touka doesn't despair because it's time to sleep and he'll finally be able to touch his thighs, but the girls ruin his plan again, telling him that they should all sleep together. Once in bed, Touka goes crazy seeing his thighs and those of the princess, but is bound with a spell. The princess tells him that she is as interested as he is in saving Yuna. As Touka's horniness soars, the zombies break into the mayor's mansion with the help of a paunchy demon. Panic grows and our heroes have no problem controlling the zombies, but the mayor is surrounded and is about to get bitten. The doctor's henchmen discuss whether to save the mayor or not, but the princess arrives and boom! She connects a tremendous arrow to the demon's neck, saving the mayor. The mayor takes the survivors to the top of his mansion, to a bunker where they will theoretically be safe from the zombies. The mayor is proud of the place and says that this fortress is impenetrable. He has even shown off detonating cannons. Touka chides him, saying that he just gave the location to the zombies and that just as they entered his mansion, they can enter this bunker in the same way. The mayor has a guilty conscience and said that it's all his fault, that he knew about the contagion when there were still few citizens, but he did nothing to prevent it. The princess comforts him and the mayor recognizes her by the mole she has under her eye. But the princess paints another mole on the other eye and the matter is resolved. Who advised you on costumes? Clark Kent? Our protagonists begin to use their brains a bit now that they are locked up like in a pandemic and come to the conclusion that since the demons are involved, someone of high rank must be handling the zombies. The truth is that Touka has 2 ideas. The first is to see the princess naked, which she succeeds in, and the second is to combine and use the crystals to identify the demons. The idea is good, and Touka manages to identify 3 main demons. The group will need all the help they can get, but the doctor's pair of henchmen refuse and the princess recognizes them. She tells them that if they help them, she will use her powers so they won't be punished. The bold man accepts and the blonde only has to join the plan. Immediately the demons break in and destroy the bastard mayor's fort. The demon, upon seeing the hero, immediately pierces him with his tentacles and leaves him worse than a strainer for noodles. But Anri knows that it's not that easy to get rid of Touka, and he regenerates as new. The demons leveled up their game and apparently now explode on contact with another person. They send the bold man to fly, and when they're about to blow up the princess, she escapes using the striptease technique. Once outside the bunker, while they're escaping, the fat demon cuts them off, but they kill him with a punch and the main demon picks him up again, controlling him. They realize that the main demon is the one controlling the zombies, and Touka grows his sword, piercing the demon in half. There is no one to lift you, bro. The princess wonders how Touka used the sword if she's in Yuna's body, but apparently it's time to celebrate the victory and not wonder Princess Killjoy questions. Meanwhile, on the outskirts of the city, Belako is rescued by a warrior, and her group she claims to be the true legendary heroine. After our hero killed a demon, the zombies invade the place and our heroes manage to get rid of a second demon, but one of the doctor's henchmen, the short blonde, is bitten by a zombie. He realizes that the main demon is escaping and encourages everybody to follow him, because otherwise he'll turn into a zombie. Look at the little boy, now he is very diligent. The blonde catches up with the demon and manages to insert a needle into it, but before he can electrocute it, he is attacked. Meanwhile, Touka meets the mayor, who is ready to escape. While the group helps the blonde, a necromancer named Diego appears, who reveals that he is the one who controlled the demon from past chapters. Touka and Anri recognize him, and Diego ends up understanding that the hero's soul is in Yuna's body, and they prepare to fight. But a carriage runs over Diego. It's the mayor who, at Touka's suggestion, went for a carriage to help him against the necromancer. In exchange for the help, he promised that he would let her see the princess only dressed in stockings. But the princess, upon hearing this, flatly refuses to fulfill that offer. Diego did not die from the carriage and appears mostly unharmed, but he has lost control of the zombies which are currently in Anri's possession. Suddenly, Millie Eunice and her entire team arrive. She is the one who claims to be the legendary heroine and is also Yuna's sister. Millie and her group manage to face the demon and Diego, but when they are overwhelmed by our heroes, Diego decides to escape, before he tells them that the spell of the zombies will make them turn into demons over time. This alarms Touka as he fears for Yuna's life. They all get together to come up with their next move and try to save the city from turning into demons, so they go in search of Diego's hideout. But while the whole team is on the way, they are assaulted by a mysterious group, apparently a special force summoned by Diego to take care of our heroes. Diego's henchmen manage to stop and divert the cart, which ends up tipping over, but happily they escape unharmed and prepare to walk to the nearest village to try to repair the cart. Touka uses the sword to serve as a cushion and soften her fall, but Millie is impressed and asks her sister why she can use the sword. We must remember that no one knows that the legendary hero is dead because of Touka's traps, and it is Touka who owns his body. But to make things more confusing, now Touka's soul is in Yuna's body, who in turn is in the body of the hero controlled by Anri, so that he does not turn into a zombie. What a complicated series. Touka deflects the question by telling her that it is part of hero Sion's power. As they walk towards the nearest town, a very thick mist is forming, but Millie clears it with the power of her holy sword. She then falls into a trap for walking too confidently, and the mist resumes. Suddenly, we see Millie running half naked through the mist, and she says that she's fallen into a trap, but Touka begins to think that all this is very strange, since neither demons or necromancers fight like that. Traps are not his fighting style, so he joins his group to devise a plan. The person responsible for this fog is a mysterious woman with big boobies. Well, who in the series doesn't have big boobies? The mysterious woman sees the legendary hero advancing, but she realizes that this is not the real hero and wonders what the group is up to. Without anyone expecting it, a demon attacks the princess and pierces her stomach. The demon immediately does the same to everyone else in the group except Touka, who freaks out and covers himself with his sword, begging for his life. The mysterious enemy laughs at Touka, telling him he's a coward for begging for his life. Touka tells her that she will give her the holy sword on the condition that they do nothing to him. When the mysterious enemy has the sword, she tells Touka that she will kill him anyway, since she's a bad guy. But Touka smiles, telling Anri to react. We see that one of the demons pierces the demon that was in charge of making the mist. Fatality! Touka explains that it was all a trap and no one was dead. The princess stabbed the demon before he did, and Anri faked death to take control of the demons. When the enemy asks how they found out, Touka tells her that he is an expert in traps and that if they want to overcome him, it will take another 100 years for them to equal him. He then tells the mysterious enemy he will not take her life, but for her to be forgiven she will have to take off her clothes and put stockings on, and maybe after that he can forgive her. But when the fog dissipates, it is the protagonist in Yuna's body who takes off his clothes and apologizes, getting on his knees. It turns out that the mysterious woman's name is Ethel Borgnine. And Touka reveals that she was his teacher, but Ethel responds by saying that she's never had a student with Yuna's appearance. Touka realizes from her that he screwed up, and Millie says that she had something on her mind since she noticed his fondness for stockings. Touka reassures Millie that he and her sister are still alive and shows her the amulet from the coffin. Then we go to a flashback where they show us how Touka met his teacher and became his disciple. Ethel is amazed to learn that Touka killed the hero, but Touka clears the matter up by saying that it was an accident. Touka questions Ethel and asks her to explain why she helps demons, and Ethel tells him that she recently went to the gates of hell, and what she saw there made her change her mind and advises them that they should also go to the gates of hell to see with their own eyes. Ethel prepares to leave with the holy sword, but Touka tells her that he has put a pin in the sword and she can electrocute her whenever he wants. Ethel recognizes the cunning of her student. Touka proposes that she accompany them to the gates of hell and that she doesn't forget to take off her clothes and apologize only in stockings. Perverts all! Our heroes get on the back of a giant demon since they're out of the area to ask for an Uber, so they arrive at the workshop where they want to fix the carriage, but the owner tells them to go, he's already retired. But since Touka and his teacher are misfit vandals, they force the door and manage to enter the workshop. There they meet an old man who pounces on Touka's breasts. Well, the truth is Yuna's breasts, not Touka's. Ethel reveals that the old man is the grandfather of Sion, the legendary hero, and they finally end up having tea and talking about repairing the carriage. It will take the old man a couple of days to make the carriage like new, but that is a long time for our heroes, so the princess offers to study about mechanics to help repair the carriage. Touka and Millie have a long conversation while waiting for the princess to read the magic artifacts manual, and Touka asks her if her sword is sacred too. Millie tells him that it is, and that it was made by humans along with 3 other swords. They're designed to be able to eliminate demons, but none of the 4 swords can close the gates of hell like Touka's sword. Ethel also tells him that the necromancers possess the bodies of the 4 infernal generals, and that there are thousands of demons waiting for them. She discourages them, saying that in order for them to succeed, they must defeat all these demons and the generals in one day, and that it is best to surrender. But Touka's very confident in his and his friends' power and says they will take care of defeating the generals and demons. Then Millie interrogates Touka and asks him if his main motivation is to save his sister, and Touka says yes. Our hero ends by saying now he is not alone and that he has friends who will help him and that in this way they can save Yuna. He then excuses himself by saying that he really wants to go to the bathroom, but what Touka really wants is a moment alone to see Yuna's delicious thighs. When he's about to enjoy his privacy and her rich thighs, a red hand touches his head. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe and activate all notifications so you won't miss any of our summaries. If you liked the video, don't forget to like it and comment what you thought. And if possible, share it with your friends. See you until next time.